Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the breaking team news. Manchester City versus Everton. Last day of the season. We are in the studio because it's the last game of the season, and who knows? Who knows? Who knows what might happen? Not saying it will happen. I'm just it could happen. It could happen.
What could happen?
Pain.
We could actually achieve something.
We could achieve something. I imagine. I suppose we could achieve something. It'll be dead interesting. We'll find out. We're just waiting for the team. Team will be out in about 2 minutes or so.
What about Union Berlin yesterday? The manager 2 weeks ago said we don't want to play in the Conference League.
Yeah.
We've had a good season. We're happy now to just leave it. And they go and win. They go and beat Leipzig at injury time.
Fair dues.
And get in the Conference League. John Darsh was all over it. Absolutely all over it. Sent me a tweet last night. Play. He was buzzing. So they're in Europe. Some cracking teams in that as well.
Yeah.
See, if Everton qualified and we got in Union Berlin.
And we got Union Berlin. No one would be moaning them, would they?
We'd be straight over for a weekend with Darch. Yeah. Wouldn't we? Or a midweek with Darch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like I said, I've said it loads of times, and it's unlikely because you'd have to say that the champions and all that. Yeah. But we'd have all had a little go at trying to win our final game to get into Europe at the start of the season, wouldn't we? I think we'd have all took that. So
absolutely,
that's what we're on at the moment, and it's a case now. Can you go out and be brave? Can you go and do something when it's important?
Absolutely,
and that's what it comes down to. And
absolutely.
You know,
let's have a couple of minutes now till the team news emerges.
Don't forget, do your Toffee Picks if you haven't done it.
You've got an hour and 2 minutes.
You might want to hang on for 2 minutes till the team news, but you know, do it. You've still got over an hour to do it. And also, if you want to get your hands on a PS5, there is a raffle, like a prize raffle. So you can go and buy one of those tickets if you want to. Very difficult to get hold of PS5s at the moment. That is on the toffeepicks.com site. And when you click on it, you can win a PS5. So
it's like a lottery, isn't it?
Have a little go with that. It's going to be interesting what he'll go with today. Obviously, Seamus Coleman's out. James Rodriguez, we know, is out. There's a lot on James Rodriguez. A lot of stuff going round. I just think the manager made a little bit of an error with his wording where Hammers are concerned. The lad was injured against Wolves, so I wish Carlo would have just said he's injured. Using the word fatigue allows people to fill in the thing if he can't be arsed and he's this and he's that. Where he's got an issue with his calf, which is why his medical was touch and go. So we've just got to accept that. But let's hope we can.
There is the Everton team: Jordan Pickford, Luca Dean, Michael Keane, Mason Holgate, Ben Godfrey, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Tom Davis, Allen, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison. Yeah.
Pretty much what I thought.
I mean, Everton have put every single name on there, so that's a bit weird.
Okay.
Is that the team? Because they've just... Yeah, I think that's the team.
Yeah, well,
No, it just had every single name on it, though.
Okay.
So I was just starting with the starting name.
It's kind of what I thought it would be. So
Ned, have you got that? Not got the team yet?
No.
That's come from Everton.
Yeah.
But it's got every single name on it, and it's got Seamus Coleman on. So I've just read out the first 11 names.
Oh, okay. So that mightn't be the team.
So that, yeah.
Okay.
Strange one.
Kyle John, someone's put twice. So.
Okay.
For me,
I haven't put the team out yet.
Yeah, I've got the Everton team. Jordan Pickford, Michael Keane, Luca Dean, Ben Godfrey, Mason Holgate, Tom Davies, Allen, Gylfi, the team, Doucouré, Richarlison. On the bench,
Seamus on the bench.
João Virginia, Niels Nkunku, Robin Olsen, Seamus Coleman, Alex Iwobi, Andre Gomez, Kyle John, Bernard. No Josh King on the bench.
No Mina.
No Mina either. So, Yerry Mina.
He wasn't on that plane, was he?
Was he in the plane in the background? That picture was taken about 4 days ago, to be fair. So it's a bit of it's a huge blow, not having Yerry Mina. Let's be honest. Josh King, what can you do? Quite clearly,
we've only got 8 subs.
Still injured. 8 subs.
We've only got 8 subs.
8 subs.
2 goalies.
Yeah.
We know how to approach the last game of the season, don't we? We know how to...
Well, what can you do? Manchester City's lineup: Ederson, Diaz, Walker, Stones, Zinchenko, Fernandinho, Kevin De Bruyne, Foden, Mahrez, Sterling, Jesus. They've gone full strength.
They've gone Champions League.
They've gone full strength.
They've gone Champions League final.
Well, the best thing to do, snap them in the first couple of minutes. Do you want to play next week, do you, lad? Yeah? Oh, what about your ankle there? That's all you can do, isn't it?
I don't think Jesus will be playing next week, but...
No. But a lot of them...
Gundogan's on the bench, and...
Aguero makes the bench, Ferran Torres as well. Listen, a tough task. We knew that anyway. Obviously, it's disappointing that Mina's not there. Josh King's a bit of a mad one. Really is.
He might have been on the plane as well.
Well, listen, he's got 4 or 5 clubs after him, so why would you commit to Evie? If you've got a little bit of a niggle, why would you be bothered committing to us? That's the way I'd look at it if I was him. We haven't given him anything. We haven't even given him 1 start. We've had him here since January. That, to me, is atrocious. But if he hasn't produced it in training, then does he deserve a game? So, just realise no Delph on that bench either, is there?
No. He couldn't play against City. Start kicking our players.
Berserk. Absolutely berserk. So, yeah, all good. All good. Steve Bryan says signing Josh King was pointless.
Yes and no. If we hadn't signed him for the last 4 months, all we would have heard what would have been, why didn't we sign Josh King? Quite simply, that's all everybody would have said.
Yeah.
Why did we let Josh King go to Fulham? Josh King scored the goals that kept Fulham up. Why didn't we get him? That's what we would have heard.
Yeah.
Why haven't we got another striker on the bench? This is pathetic. That's all we would have heard. That would have been the narrative for the last 4 or 5 months. We've missed out on Europe because we didn't get another striker. That's what would have been said. That's what would have been said. We covered our arse. We brought him in, and he wasn't very good, clearly, in training. The manager clearly didn't think he was up to the level. He hasn't looked fit. He's never once, to me, looked fit. Not once. So, make of that what you will. But I just know that if we hadn't signed a striker on deadline day, there would have just been murder for the last 4 months.
Say we'd not signed him, and then Dom would have got another injury, or a Charlison, and he'd have been out for 2 months or something. And everyone would have gone, why didn't we just get him?
Yeah.
The fact is, he come in, and for majority of the games he's been here for, those 2 have been fit, haven't he? And the one game he probably would have started, Brighton away, he wasn't fit himself. So that's the way it is.
It's been about how many times as well though has he not been fit?
Yeah.
And hasn't made the bench. And this is
when
a player who's not barely kicked the ball for us. So you've got to ask questions of
barely kicked the ball all season.
So you've got to ask questions of what his fitness is like. I think you really have to. And if the manager doesn't think he's putting it in, then that's up to him, isn't it?
Yeah. When you're training every day, you have to train, right? You have to train like you're playing every single day. That's how you have to. You have to approach everything like that. If not, you want to find yourself not in the team. That's the way it is. A question from Steve Kelly says, Godfrey centre back or right back?
Right back, I think.
So where's Holgate playing? Midfield? Or is Holgate one of this? No, Holgate be centre back.
Do you not think it's...
No, I'd have Godfrey would be centre back, I think. I think Holgate will be right back.
So is it back for
Holgate,
Keane,
Godfrey and Dean will be the back 4.
Yeah.
And then you've got a midfield of Allen, Tom Davies, Decore, Gylfi, and then them 2 up front.
So it's like a
4-3-1-2. It's what I thought he might go with today, actually, but I expected Mina to play.
I went for 4-3-2-1.
Did you?
Yeah. I went for that.
So who was
my team was Pickford, Holgate, Godfrey, Mina, Keane, Dean, Tom Davis, Allen, Decore, Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Dominic
Calvert. Well, that might be what he plays for Christmas tree. That's the team, isn't it? The only difference is Holgate's in for Mina. That's it.
Godfrey and Dean are the width.
Yeah, because
you've got today.
Godfrey could drive forward with the ball.
But otherwise today as well is what people have got to accept today. Jake, yes we are. What people have got to accept today is
battle, isn't
forget about footy. You can't play football against Manchester City, not with this team, right? So what we have to do is make it as busy as we can in the middle, so there's nowhere for them to pass through. And then when we get the ball, bang it long and get after it. And it's crap to watch, but for 95 minutes a day, that's all that matters. Bang it long and turn them. Get Dom winning everything in the air, which he will do, or near enough. Get Richie running off them and say to Sigurdsson, anything 25 yards out, pop it. And that's it.
Ultimately, you look at the bench and there's nothing on the bench.
No, there's nothing
that you'd say should be starting the game or can change the game, sadly. So it's going to be a ridiculously hard task this today. But we all knew that. So it is what it is, and we'll just have to just watch the game and just you know, like we would have anyway. So
it is what it is. It was never even. Someone pointed out to me the other day, said, say City played a reserve team, so to speak. Yeah. Then all of those lads are trying to get in Pep's ear for the final. They're arguably going to be running around even more, putting tackles in and trying to catch his eye. Whereas the majority of these players playing today are going to play in the final anyway. So they're more likely to be, he won't take the foot off the gas because City don't do that, but they're more likely to be thinking about their own game.
Well, this is I'd imagine this is essentially for them, this is like their dress rehearsal, isn't it, for next week? So, I suppose for City, he had to give that team a good run out before next week. And what he probably thinks is actually Everton, because of the way we'll play today, he'll imagine this will be a good little challenge for that, good little warm-up ahead of the Champions League Chelsea next week. And what we've got to do is actually make it a really good warm-up because...
Make them think and
make
play.
Them play. Because that sounds stupid, but Pep Guardiola won't want City today having a
5-0 or something.
An easy game. So let's make it so it's not an easy game.
Yeah. Last the Corinthians said, as long as we don't get stuffed. Paul Cape from Melbourne says it, no king yet again, the world's most pointless signing. Just done as a backup, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think we knew 3 or 4 games in when he wasn't given a start that he wasn't going to really be considered, did we?
No.
So, it is what it is. Stephen Evans says, glad he's put Exeter in midfield. We have a chance. We do have a chance. Leeds beat them with 10 men, and I know Leeds are full of energy and running and all that, but they can be beaten. They've lost 4 home games this season. Let's just do it. Let's do a Leicester. Get 3 penalties there today. That's how Leicester beat them. 3 penalties in the same game. So...
You have to get in the box for that.
Oh my God! You've got to be positive about it. You've got to be. What's the point sitting here going? Seeing a few people 5-1 today, 3-0 today. Well, then what? It's never going to get any better for you, is it?
I think it could be a 5-1.
It could be, but they're the champions.
But
they're about to become European
champions. But do your Toffee Picks?
They're about to become European champions. So,
I mean,
are
they?
Yeah.
Okay.
By about three clear goals. Yeah, they are miles better than Chelsea. Like miles better. They will batter them. We are the opposite of Leeds, Oscar, but we're also the team that's won the second most away games. Just remember that, the second after City. So, for all of this stuff that we get and people ripping Everton and going this, that and the other, our own fans. And I've said before, no one hates Everton more than Evertonians. But there's also positive things, like we've won 11 away games and we've beaten teams above us, all the teams above us practically, bar Chelsea. We drew at United, beat Chelsea at home, didn't we? City is hugely difficult. I'm not sitting here going, yeah, it's easy. I'm saying, who knows? It's a game of footy, who knows? For me, we had the easiest home game this year.
Yeah.
Against Fulham. It was like, put our flip-flops on, these are crap, and they beat us 2-0. You know, and Burnley come and beat us. So, who knows? City, if they play well, will destroy us because they're that good. But we've got something on it, haven't we? We've got something on it. Like Sol says, 5-1 to us. I won an away day in Latvia. Paul says, if they score early, God help us. Yeah. Okay. Captain Toffee says, why couldn't he rest just a few players this game?
To be fair, what I would say is, though, if they had rested a few players, right, those players who come in will be desperate to catch the eye of Pep Guardiola. In fact, when he beat Newcastle, that was more of a second team, than the game against Brighton. The Brighton was nearly full strength, and it was a lot of those first teamers who just hadn't had a game for a week and had been on the ale and stuff. So I'm sure they've trained for it properly all week, but there will be that niggling doubt in the back of their mind. I don't want to get injured. I don't want to miss that Champions League final. That could work both ways, of course. They could be absolutely amazing. But if there's a few 50-50s on that pitch, and Everton are steaming into them knowing after today we're going on holiday. Then, you know, who knows? We've seen City be frustrated before. Seen them this time last year getting very frustrated. You know, when we came out of lockdown. You know, and if Everton could somehow nick that first goal, then maybe, who knows? But it's a game of footy.
If they both play to the potential, City will win. Because they're quite simply miles better than us. But last Sunday, I'm sure taking out, all right, maybe not from Evertonians then, but a lot of people looking at that game last Sunday, Everton v Sheffield United, would have gone, Everton will win that. Wouldn't he? Fans like Spurs fans and Villa and Arsenal around, who were all looking at us around their place, West Ham would have gone, Everton, Sheffield United 3-0. Comfortable. And yet they scored first and we couldn't get back into it. So it can happen. But will it happen? Well, it's highly unlikely, but we'll see, won't we? We'll see. Mitchell's saying, I'm fed up with the away stat. Footy is footy. All right, forget about the away stats. We've won 17 out of 37 games. So we've won as many as a lot of teams around us, Mitchell, so we can beat anyone, home or away. So in that way, it's irrelevant then, innit? We win a lot of games of football, so why not today? Paul Cape says, looking for that sweet spot in possession. What is it again, Ped?
38%. I imagine it might be...
I think it'll be more
a
like
bit lower.
23%.
I think it might be a bit lower today.
But Leicester won the league with an average 24% possession. So, you know, and that year they did win 3-1 at City with 26% possession or something. So they did have runners, to be fair, but who knows? Where are we? Andrew Bowen says if we don't get Europe, we only have ourselves to blame. Well, we do. We do, because nobody else's fault, is it? We've had enough chances. Like Leicester. Leicester don't get in today, which they won't now. They've only had themselves to blame. They had Newcastle at home. They only had to beat Newcastle. And they ended up... In fact, they only had to... The way it's played out, they only had to get a draw with Newcastle.
Yeah.
If they'd have drawn with Newcastle, they were in. And they were 4-0 down, at home to Newcastle in a game. Everyone said 5-1 to Leicester. So, yeah, for them, 2 years on the run, I think you gave me the stat last year that it was they spent 15 minutes outside the top four on the last day of the season.
Basically last season, from August onwards.
And today, they will be out the Champions League again on the final day of the season. But on goal difference this time. So, you know, people mention us as bottlers. Bloody hell. Okay, RCO2 says, I've worked out you need between 68 and 72 points a season to get top four. Yeah. You need to score 70 to 74 goals.
That's what it is. If you're going to do the numbers, if you're going to do it Moneyball style, it's goals. Very much like in baseball, it's runs. You know, in this, it's goals. It's goals. And that sounds like the most basic thing in the world, isn't it? Goals win games. So yeah, it's goals. You need goals, and as our goal difference is currently 4, you know, and below us at Arsenal, 14. Leeds have got 6.
Look what else RCO2 says though.
Villa have got 8.
We've conceded as many goals as Liverpool and Man United.
Yeah,
said it's just
scoring goals.
Scored 24 goals.
But that's the thing though. It's not. Doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if our goal difference was minus 2, minus 3. It wouldn't make a difference. It's not about goals you concede. It's about goals you score. If you don't score a goal,
it wouldn't matter if we were
it wouldn't matter though, because if it's goals you score, goals scored, win games. If you score,
but if we were minus 3, it would have meant we scored less anyway, wouldn't it?
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because we could have won. We could have won games like 1-0 and lost a couple of games 5-0, couldn't we?
So we'd have to win.
When we finished 4th, We had a minus goal difference.
Yeah, only because of Arsenal.
No, I know, but we had that's the proof, though.
Yeah. We won enough games, you mean?
There's the proof.
Yeah.
Goals win games of football. You know, so you've got...
Like he says, if we beat the 12 teams below us home and away, without even beating any of the top sides, it puts you on 62 points, which means you'd only need 2 wins from the
Which is what West Ham have done.
14 games.
Which is what West Ham have done. West Ham have been beaten by everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. No, I don't think they've beaten anyone above them. No, so that's what they've done.
Made to build bit by bit, and I think starting to beat everyone below us should put us straight away into the top 5. It would. Look at us this year. We've blown games. Forget whether they're home or away. We've blown a lot of games that we should have taken points from, haven't we? Yeah. And that's a fact. That's the fact of the matter. If you want to do the home and away thing, even if we lose today, we'll have finished the season losing 4 away games. If we lose 4 away games next season, through the whole season, we'll be in Europe, if not the Champions League, because I absolutely guarantee our home form will be well better next season. The other night proved it, the crowd. It just makes a big difference to us. Dick L says, have the fans started to turn on hammers, or is it just media fake news? Peter Reid's reaction tells you what he thinks of Rodriguez. If Ped is right, Rodriguez has played his last Everton game, and that may not be a bad thing. He hasn't played his last Everton game, no, has he? So, and it might not be a bad thing, no. So next season, when we have got no creator and people are moaning, let's just remember all of this crap that's gone on this last few days. Alex Wiley says, cup final time.
It's not a cup final. It can't be a cup final if only one team have got something to win out of it.
Try a cup final then, maybe. People not happy with the team. Astro saying, what's your gut telling you about today regarding Europe? Well, what it's telling me straight off is we need something from the game. We're probably going to need to win the game, which is very unlikely. But I once remember West Ham going to Old Trafford on the final day of the season and people, United were champions, and everyone was like, it'll be 7 or 8-0 West Ham at Grim. And Tevez scored the winner and he beat them 1-0. He got battered and won 1-0. Everton would have to, to me it equates to kind of the same thing today. It needs one of those results. Go on, Ned, you're dying to speak.
Oh no, I was just turning my mic off because I turned it off because I sneezed. But I'm fine.
There you go. Very insightful. Well, what's your gut feeling? Go on, today.
It's like the West Ham game. You're not confident, but you always have that sneak feeling away that you can nick a win. But you don't want to get your hopes up because you don't want to predict a win because you'd be heartbroken. But I still have faith in Carlo.
Okay.
But I'm not overly confident.
It is Man City. They are the best team in the land and the best team in Europe.
They could win a treble of some sort this year, couldn't they? So I won't be too disappointed. But it's this thing. It's the thing of if we win, you could finish 7th. It would be a like for the injuries and stuff we've had and the not the greatest team we've got. Yeah, it would be a fantastic season in the mince of things. 6 home wins. But if you lose, you finish 10th. But how do you take a season finishing 10th after the last game where you could have finished 7th if you won? So it's like you feel a bit hard done by, don't you?
I'm not asked if we finish 10th.
Nor am I, because
I'm not asked. If we don't win the game, really? Right? If we don't win the game or get a point out the game and we lose, and other teams win or whatever, and we finish 10th, then so be it. That's football. We'll still have the same amount of points. Yeah. This amount of points last season
would have got us like 7th.
Could have had us somewhere else. 61 points.
We finished 8th with 49
61 points once got us Champions League. 61 points this season might not even get 7th place. Yeah. So
it's like
it will get 7th place.
Where would 72 points get you this season? Well, 3rd. They got us 5th a few seasons ago.
So it's just a number. We know. Ultimately, we know where we've gone wrong massively. What we need. We have to put that into practice. Massively.
Yeah. Philip Stevens says, what position do you reckon will make our first signing? And who do you think?
Right back, hopefully. I'd hope.
Be difficult to say who it is. Aaron's is obviously one they've looked at. I'd like Baku. It's well documented. Emerson was mentioned again the other day, Emerson Royale. He's on loan at Real Betis. I don't know, it's difficult to say, isn't it? But that, I imagine, right back or right wing will be the first kind of player they bring in.
If Olsen decides to, well, if they make a choice on Olsen, then they'll probably get him sorted.
Depends what the deal is, though.
Yeah.
Got to buy him, haven't we? So
yeah, exactly.
Depends whether Roma are like, well, we want X amount, and they'll want to push the price up as much as they can. Everton will want to pay the least for him, won't they? Is Mourinho Roma manager as well?
Next season, yeah.
So therefore he might look at him and go, actually, not bad. We were linked again with Romero yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah,
Argentinian press.
I'd quite like him.
Argentinian press saying
left-footed.
He wants to come to Everton.
Yeah, good with his feet. Good shot stopper.
Let me just ask this question very quickly. If Chelsea win the Champions League next season, right? Next week, right? But they finish 5th. Would that mean that whoever finishes in 7th gets Europa League rather than Conference?
I don't think we can increase.
No, we can't have more. No, I'm not saying we have more places.
So instead of...
You can only have a maximum of 7 teams.
There'll be 5 Champions League.
I know.
Yeah, there'll be 5 Champions League teams.
But do we not go in the Conference League, we go in the Europa?
There's
2 Europa League places, isn't
so does the team that finished 7th get the Europa League place and we don't get the Conference place?
Or do we get just an extra Champions League place and 8th gets...
No, 8th doesn't get... You only have 7. You can only have 7 teams in Europe.
That's what's wrong with it.
So you just lose the Conference League?
No, that's what I'm asking. Do we lose...
No, we either lose a place in the Europa League or a place in the Conference League.
Now, you would imagine we'd lose a place in the Conference League rather than Europa League, because that wouldn't make sense. I know that probably won't happen anyway, because I imagine Chelsea will get 3rd or 4th today.
But even still, you'd like to know if you're a Chelsea fan or something, wouldn't you?
Well, no, if Chelsea win it, they get Champions League next season regardless, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering whether if that was to happen, 7th would get Europa League.
See, really,
that get an extra place.
The extra place should be because the English club. No, it's not just that. But what I mean is the English clubs have performed. They've gone and won the 2 trophies, and on top of that, so you should get the extra place anyway. If the 5th one goes in the Champions League, then you still should have 2 Europa League places and the Conference place. Of course you should. It's the way it is. You just go, yeah, that's it. It's berserk that it doesn't, really. Absolutely berserk. They want English clubs in everything because of the money and the interest. So I don't understand why you would purposely cut that off. Do you know what I mean? Why you would stop that?
Looking at the Conference League with the teams in it, putting a Premier League team in it would do it a whole lot of good. If I'm being honest.
If Spurs get it or Arsenal get it,
that'd be huge.
If they don't win it, then I think that would seem as failure.
Yeah.
What if we get it?
I think people would expect us to win it. Genuinely. No, I think they do. I think they would.
Union Berlin in it and all that.
We should be able to bounce Union Berlin.
I mean, if that's why I actually think it'd be amazing for us to get in it, because I honestly think we'd have, with Carlo Ancelotti and his tactical awareness and all that, and then we'd actually have a chance of winning a trophy, which is huge for us.
We start playing like kids like Onyango and Thierry Small in it. And
just winning the trophy and that, developing play is great, but actually winning the trophy.
I do think you'd have to mix and match.
You have to mix it.
Stages, whether that was Europa League.
If we did it and we done what we did last time in it, because we asked about even mixing it, but like not getting the results, then you're leaving yourself wide open to criticism as well.
I don't understand anyone who would rather finish 10th and get Conference League. It baffles me, and I don't understand.
Yeah, but for some clubs, right? I understand when we had the conversation with the lads, and other people who were close to them, saying they'd rather finish 8th than 7th because they're looking at it going a full season without having Europe. With the players we've got playing a game a week would put us either in the race for the league or kind of almost guaranteed they're in the top 4 because they're so far, like they're ahead of us on that journey, aren't they?
But we're chasing Europe.
But for us, we're trying
we need Europe to get in the next step.
So some clubs who've been there might look at it and go, like say take Tottenham, right? Tottenham might look at it and go, we've been playing in the Champions League and the Europa League. It'll actually do us a good for one season to just be able to go after the league, get our team sorted, get in that top 6 or 4 again, and go again. For Everton, because there's Evertonians who will be sat there today going, I don't want us to get in that Conference League because I want us to play one game a week again in a proper season when we've got Carlo Ancelotti as the manager with better players, because next season, doing it that way will give us the best opportunity to get into the top 6 or top 4. Whereas if we then throw Europe in, we could end up being 10th again because we've got more games. Right? I'm not saying that's my view.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I can see where people are coming from. My counter-argument to that, because people say that about the Europa League, don't want the Europa League, Champions League or nothing. But you can't have Champions League or nothing. Because you can't go for 4th and finish 8th. Do you know what I mean? So it's a balancing act. Personally, I want us to keep developing. If we miss out today and we finish 9th or 10th, so be it. I'll be gutted because I'll look at teams like Arsenal if they finished above us and Leeds and go, you aren't better than us, you're not. But they finished above us. So that'll annoy me because they don't deserve to finish above us. Well, they do because they've got more points, but you know what I mean. They don't, in my opinion, they're not better than Everton. But by the same token, it doesn't really matter because it's all about what we do going forward. It doesn't matter who's where. We can only look at it from our perspective and go, I've seen some people making great points as well, saying we're not good enough for Europe. If we get in it, we're not good enough. We've proved we're not good enough because we haven't been able to get the place. But it's what we do over the next 10 weeks.
I think, and I think you sort of agree with me on this. I think people massively overestimate how good the group stages are of the European competitions, and I mean the Champions League and that as well. There is some absolute dross, and Everton's biggest problem has been because we're not consistently in it. We don't know how to manage it. Look at Arsenal, right? If you look at Arsenal in the group stages of the Europa League, they got to the semi-final. You look at their teams they put out. It was a mixture of first teamers and kids, and it's helped grow those kids. And because the teams they were playing at home with Ross, they were putting out half a team, beating them, winning 3 or 4 games, and then going through. What we did last time, and I know ours was a little bit tougher. We had basically 2 Champions League teams in ours. I know it was tough, but we were putting in best 11 on the Thursday, then best 11 on the Sunday, then best 11 on the Thursday, and best 11 on Sunday. And because the team had no form, it was losing every single game. And all what happened was just downward spiral, which ended up getting Koeman the sack. Where if Koeman had gone into it and gone, right, what we're trying to do is build forward, get some experience, give experience to Tom Davis, John Joe Kenny, Davy Klassen, Sandro, whoever else, and we're going to manage both tournaments separately. And then that's how you do it. And then you win your 3 games. I remember when Man United won under Mourinho, they won 3 home games and I think they lost all 3 away games. He doesn't care. He knows how to manage in that tournament. He knows you get 10 points or whatever, you're through. And there's this idea that you have to almost put your best team out straight away to win it. You don't. You've got a group stage where if you win a couple of games at home, you build into it slowly and then you go through the gears. And that's what experienced European managers do. And I think that's what Carlo would do because he has got experience in Europe. But this idea that you go in it would... Carlo could go in, we could go in it. And we get to a Thursday and we have a tough game away and he just goes, no, we've got a tough game on Sunday. Tell you what, I'll send this team over there. Or you look at the fixture before you start and you go, that's winnable, that's not winnable, that's a tough trip, we'll send these people here. You don't have to go, best team, best team, best team. No. Because that's what we've been as Evertonians almost. We have this thing because we've never had this thing of a squad system because we've never had a squad. Where other teams look at their team and go, oh, he's playing this week, yeah, sound. He's playing. We go, oh my God, he's not playing. We lose our mind because we don't have a squad. And that's how you deal with Europe. You don't have to go flying into it. You don't win it on the first day.
That's also because we don't play in it.
That's what I'm saying.
Teams like Arsenal, look at Arsenal this year. I don't think they've been very good this year. They've got good players.
Got to the semis,
but they've got, because they've used it really well. And Arteta's had a look and gone, we'll do this here and do this there. And they've used people like Ellis Smith-Rowe, had a great run in it and been really good. He's now in their Premier League team. And obviously Nketiah has been there and things like that. They've got Pepe has played his way back into form through it.
Saka probably played more games last season in that tournament, the Europa League, than he did in the league. And that's got him to the platform to build them up. So they've seen it as like a secondary trophy, but we don't. We look at them, put it on this big, we put it on a stand like, oh, this is the golden goose. And it's like, it's not, because if you're regularly in it, you know how to manage it.
Look at City before they won the first Premier League. They had the first couple of seasons in the Champions League, but they didn't get out the group stage. They think for the first 2 times they're in it, but it was like, that's fine. We'll play the kids in that, develop the kids. We'll focus on the league. We'll get back-to-back Champions League every year and we'll be a Champions League team, whether we win or not.
It's practice.
If we get the first year in the Europa League, don't worry about getting out the group stage. Just make sure you get Europa League again next season. You get 3 or 4 back-to-back Europa League, and you get your Champions League, and your squad gets better. You get you more money. Look at what it's done for Tottenham. They've not won anything, but look at the jump they've gone. They expect Champions League every season. They're attracting all the. They attract. I know we've attracted a manager, but they've got all these. They're basically a much bigger club from just getting back-to-back Europa League.
Arsenal Wenger done it for Arsenal, okay, albeit Arsenal were absolutely fantastic under Wenger at the start. We were still. It makes me laugh because they were still brilliant under him when he left. People kind of just wrote Arsenal off for years, but they were still brilliant. They just, never won anything near the end, or they won FA Cups, but they never won the league. But they were still brilliant. You had them in Europe for 24 years in Champions League, rather.
Season,
23. But because they did finish fourth every year, they had that money. They were able to still continue. Now, if they would have given him a bit more money, or he'd have looked at it. I think Arsene Wenger in the end was like his money. So he wanted to make sure, and he loved developing players, which there's nothing wrong with, that's brilliant. But Arsenal were just always a couple short of winning things in the end. And probably 2016, that should have been the year they won it.
It's when Sanchez was at the peak, and they were a few players
Alexis Sanchez were amazing.
It was when Leicester won the league. I thought they'd win.
But that was when they should have got Aubameyang. I remember we done ball street with Robbie, and Ped was saying you should get Aubameyang, and Robbie was like, "No, we're all right." We were like, "You're just a little bit short," and that's how it happened. Where if they would have got him, they'd have probably won the league that year, because they were up there anyway and just fell away towards the end. And really, I remember in fact, I don't think they'd lost till we beat them at home in the December. Remember? That season.
They hadn't been flying. We were terrified. We were like, we're going to get battered here.
Yeah, and we beat them 2-1. Then I think they lost to City then on the Saturday. They lost 2 games in 3 days, but they've been fantastic, and they were just a bit short.
So the answer is 6 goes into the Europa League, 7 goes into the Europa Conference.
So it's just one.
No matter what. No matter what.
Fair play.
So they obviously want to represent. But that's because I seen that, because someone had actually said, if that happens, the Europa Conference goes to 8, and I knew it didn't, because you can only have 7 representation.
That should change, in my opinion. If those clubs are winning those European trophies, then I think it should drop down the league. The way it is, you've got the most you're ever going to get 8 in that European competition. But you've got 3 competitions now. Do you know what I mean? So
if you look in the past 5 or 10 years, or more 5 years, look at the amount of English sides that have got to finals and won.
And maybe that's why they don't.
And if you look before that,
see, that's the problem, though, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it? This tournament's been brought in to stop that. This tournament's been brought in to allow all the little clubs a chance to win something, right? Which is why I'd be made up of Everton got into it.
And right? Get European experience. And because what's happening is, there's so many big clubs now that the Champions League's chock-a-block. So anyone who goes in the Champions League just struggles. So then they go in the Europa League, and then there's still loads of good teams in the Europa League, isn't there? Loads of good teams in the Europa League. And then all these little clubs are still struggling. So they've obviously created something else for them. See, I'd have brought the cup. That would have been really interesting if they brought the Cup Winners' Cup back, right? And said, if you win a cup, you have to go in the Cup Winners' Cup. Like, if you win a cup, all right, say you win the Premier League and the FA Cup, you go in the Champions League, of course. But if you finish second and you win the FA Cup, you have to go in that tournament. Imagine everyone going, I don't know what to do. That would make the old age thing of what would you rather have, the FA Cup or the Champions League? Because you'd be like, I've actually got to make a decision now. That would be amazing jeopardy, that.
So if you get knocked out of the Europa League in group stages, do you go into the conference like you do with
I don't know.
Champions League?
Don't know.
That'd be disgraceful if you do.
But
they need to take the Champions League teams going into the Europa League. I've said before, if you're having qualifying for the Champions League, right, in August, and you don't make it into that qualifying, by all means put them in the Europa League then. But playing in the Champions League till Christmas and getting knocked out, there's no way you should then go into the other competition. No way.
Agree.
We all thought, me and Baz thought, when we heard this was coming in, that we thought, honestly, it was going to go down to like 9th and 10th.
Yeah, well, that's what they said.
We were like, this is going to be boss. We're going to be in Europe every single year.
We can start to develop.
And then when they were like, no, it's taking a Europa place, it's like, come on.
Should never have took a Europa place. Chris Barr says, love you guys, but this is coming from the first wave of people who get on the managers who field weaker teams and manage tournaments. We are desperate to win anything, so it doesn't work for us.
What doesn't work for us?
Like playing like other players in those competitions.
But you've got to, because you've got to manage
You've got to have to manage it though, Chris. And this is what we're saying, Chris, is that we're never in it regularly enough to understand how to do it properly.
Get some of the pitches out.
That's like probably the thing, like.
Or they got the new training gear on.
Just do it.
Steve Bryan says part of the problem is we're going to need new players for the first team and new players for the bench in Europe. That's a lot of new players.
Yeah, but how do you, like, you can't stand still in football. Like, if you're not in Europe, you're not in Europe. If someone's got a choice between two Premier League teams to decide on, and they go, well, they're in Europe and you're not, I want to be in Europe. Don't forget, right, whether we like it or not, everybody's aspiration is to play in the Champions League.
Yeah, of course.
So,
isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I said everyone's. Everyone's aspiration is playing the Champions League as a player. So, but if they're not Champions League ready yet, then they're obviously going to go, well, I need to test myself in the Europa League. So if a club like Everton come calling and they're not in the Europa League, then it makes it more difficult.
Because we do have to become a stepping stone club until we're the stone that you step into.
Exactly.
It's the only way, isn't it? Don't forget, give the video a thumbs up if you're watching it, if you like the live stream. Yeah. Subscribe if you haven't. And also, if you like general footy, subscribe to the Footy Show channel for us.
We're going to be finishing in about 7 minutes. Then we're going to be setting up for the watch along. So
we'll be back on a 5-2.
We'll be back on a 5-2 for the watch along. So
there you go.
There you go.
LR882027 says, greetings from Loveland, Colorado. Give me a shout out, Linny from Northwich. It's right, Linny. You're in Colorado. You're from Northwich or Loveland, Colorado. Obviously from Northwich, and you're living there. Trevor Hamlet says, 1-1 today. Spurs will lose and Arsenal will draw. That could happen, and if that happens, Everton are in Europe, which would be incredible. Paddy says, all right, the lads. Oscar says, I feel a goal fest today. 3-2 to the Toffees. Blue Nose Dublin says, Spurs, West Ham, Leeds, and even Arsenal, I don't believe will be that strong next season. We have to improve the squad with young, hungry players. Yeah, got to. Absolutely got to. Where are we? Nick Clark says, do you think Iwobi can change around this form for next season?
No. So,
or is there no future for him at Everton?
I
think it'd be very difficult, very, very difficult to get for Iwobi to turn it around. Because I just don't see where he plays in this team. Mitchell says Leon Bailey wouldn't be seen in an overcoat and in a wooden box in the Conference League.
You don't know that.
Yeah, but if he's signing for Everton, then he'd be signing for Everton, whatever they play him, wouldn't he?
Put it this way, right?
Hang on.
Just 1 point.
Go on.
Would he be more likely to sign for Everton just playing Premier League football, or would the incentive of having any kind of European football add to it?
Well, more with the incentive. But the other thing I was going to say was, people would have said 12 months ago, James Rodriguez wouldn't be seen with glasses and a moustache on playing in the Carabao Cup. And yet he did do, didn't he? So, West Ham at home.
Yeah, glasses and a moustache.
You know, like the old thing of like the false thing.
Okay, he played in that?
He didn't play in that. He'd have been good if he played in that, because it would look like we've got two good players. Players will play in anything. Anything. Scott says, does the conference have a boss trophy? I don't know. It better have a big, stupid, huge trophy because its name is pathetic. Lewis Jones says, Toffee TV, what do you guys think about the new kit? I think it's fire. I like it. I like it. Really like it.
It's great.
I like it even more today if we win. Put it that way. Put it that way.
Fire.
Put it that way. Okay, where are we? Andy Lancaster says, Everton become a lot more attractive place for players being in Europe and having Carlo as manager than just having Carlo and finishing 8th or 9th. Possibly, and I'm not disagreeing with that at all, but what I'm saying is, if Everton have identified certain type of player anyway, which is players that are like that on the up, then they'll be going for them with or without Europe, because what you're selling to those players is we're trying to build to get into Europe, and you're integral to that. And if we both grow and you grow, then we'll either get where we want to with you, or you'll get so good that we will sell you on. Because that's, Leicester's everyone's on-trend club at the moment, aren't they? It's exactly what Leicester are doing. Leicester are buying players and going, But yet we're on the rise. When they bought Maddison and people like that, they weren't in Europe. So you're buying players on that journey. Everton have been buying players who were on that journey and going, oh, drag us up to where you've just been. And then players are just like, lad, I'm 29, I can't be asked. That's been the problem, Mr. Delph. Thoughts on the conference? What, just the Conference League? Yeah, it's all right.
It's good. See, the problem with this Conference League is...
The name.
No, I'm not even bothered, but it's dead simple. No one's watched it. No one's seen it. No one knows where it's going to be. No one knows what it's going to look like. No, it's a brand new thing. So half of the thing is like fear. I think half the people think they're going to turn up and be playing on, Hackney Marshes, or
I mean, you did say that.
Erin Eccles or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think people think it's going to be like Kirby Stadium. But remember when we got through into the Cup Winners' Cup? Remember Reykjavik's ground? It was just basically sports centre.
It was Kirby Stadium.
Yeah, it was Kirby Stadium. As I've said on numerous occasions, who are we? Who do we think we are as a football club that's had Europe twice in 10 years, that we can turn our noses up at any kind of European football?
Can't even get Europe.
Exactly. Who do we think we are if we think we can turn that down?
Paul Cattle says whatever happens today, despite that ridiculous home form, we took it to the last day. And that's it, isn't it? Keith Scott says, afternoon lads, looking at our bench shows you actually how well we've done with this squad. It's very poor outside our starting 11. Yeah. 4 good signings and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, but that's it, isn't it? When you actually break it down, we all love our club and we all like to big it up and big players up and big the manager up. But the reality is, after about 12 or 13 players, the rest of them aren't very good and they're not very... The problem is, technically they're all good footballers, but there's no consistency from any of them, so...
Right, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Make sure to join us in 10 minutes for the watch-along. Go and do your Toffee Picks.
And get your drink,
Don't forget it's free. T's and C's apply. Must be 18. Play responsibly. ToffeePicks.com. Go and do that now. Quick. Last chance of the season to win some money in the Premier League season. Go and do it right now, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Goodbye.